So welcome to our channel. So today we will continue with ES6 Features Part 5. In this video we are going to learn about arrow functions. So in our last video we saw destructuring. So if you haven't watched the destructuring video, please go and watch it. So what is an arrow function? So arrow function is nothing but it's a syntactical sugar for normal functions. It gives us a very concise syntax as compared to normal functions. It doesn't have its own context. Context means this. It doesn't have its own this, but it always binds its parent's context. So that scope is called as lexical scope. So let's see. So arrow functions, as I already explained, is arrow function expression is a syntactical compact alternative to a regular function expression, although without its own binding to the this keyword. With arrow function, however, this is lexically bound. It means that it uses this keyword from the code that contains the arrow function. So now we will go into the example section where you will be more clear with the arrow function logic. So we will see both how we used to write in normal function without ES6 and how we will use in ES6. So let's see. So guys, let's see the examples. So here without ES6 or apart from ES6 arrow function features, there are two ways of declaring a function. So one is function declaration and the other one is function expression. So in function declaration, what we do is function name, inside curly braces we define the operations. So similarly for function expression, what we do is we have a variable, and yeah, remember function expression is anonymous function. So function without any name. So that function we will return into a variable. That function we will be returning into a variable, that is sample1. So here function, and inside the braces we are having the operation. So similarly, now apart from this we will see what advantage we get in arrow function. So here const sample2, this is the arrow function syntax. We will have a flat arrow syntax like equal to opening and closing of braces and the arrow symbol, and inside that we will declare we will have our operations. So this is the syntax. You guys remember this has to be the syntax for the arrow functions. Now we will see the console log for all the three functions, and we'll see the output. So here we don't see any difference. The three outputs are same. So in this case, we don't have any difference compared to arrow function with the other functions. So when we go for context-based approaches, that time we will see the advantage of the arrow function. So, and one more thing I forgot to tell you guys, that in arrow function syntax, we are not using any function keyword. We are just having const variable name and we are just showing the arrow syntax, and inside that we are passing our operation. That's all. So now let's see some context-based approaches where we will get to see the difference between the arrow function and the other function declarations. So now we will see the context-based approach. First we will see for normal functions and then we will see for arrow function. So here we are taking a variable name and we are assigning it a value called JSNinja. Now we will see a function. We are taking a function, test function. We are declaring a function, and inside that we will console log the value of this dot name. So this is the context, right? So now suppose we want to call this function, test function. So we are calling test function. So remember one thing, in normal functions, context will always be based upon the function environment. So in this case, it will be window object. Behind the scenes, it will work like window.test function. So why window object? Because this is having a global scope. Here we are defining name in the global scope. So remember, before the dot, whatever is there will be the environment for the particular function. So here it is window. So window is the environment for the test function. Now we will console log the value of this dot name and see what it outputs. So it gives us JSNinja. So now we will see, to make you more clear, we will see another example. Inside this, we will have a return, and we are taking again the name variable and assigning it to test user. Then we are taking a function, print function, and again inside we will console log the value of this dot name. So now we want to call the print function. So how to call the print function? In order to call the print function, first we have to take a variable const test. We'll call the test function. Inside test, we will get the print function like this, test.print. So as I already told that whatever will be before the dot will be the environment for the particular function. So here it is test. So test, this object you can see, this is the object inside, this is the actual environment for the test. So here if we console log this dot name, we will get the name value as test user. So let's see, let's console and see the value. Okay, so this is having test user as the output. Now to be more clear, these are the example with the normal functions. Now we will see the arrow function example. Let's see. So we are defining another function using the arrow function syntax. We'll take the flat arrow syntax. Inside this, we will again console log the value of this dot name. Now we want to call the display function. So how to call that? Same, test dot display. So now you know that in the definition, in the arrow function definition, I told you that this function doesn't have its own context. So it doesn't have its own context, but it takes its parent's context. So parent to the display is test function, right? So test function's context is the window object or the global scope. So window object is the environment for the test function. So similarly for arrow function always takes its parent's context. So here it is the window. So let's console log and see. Yeah, so here you can see the output is JSNinja. So why JSNinja? Because arrow function is taking its parent's context. Here parent is test function and test function is having so name will be JSNinja. So now we will see another example which will make you more, which will make the concept more clear. So let's see another function test function. Inside the test function, we will declare our this.name. So we are assigning this name JSNinja to the test function's context. Yeah. So now if we console log the value of this.name, yeah, and let's call the function test function. Let's see the result of console. So we will get JSNinja because the JSNinja or the name is assigned to the test function's context, right? So now let's take a set timeout function and check. So set timeout function, you already know the syntax. It will have a timeout, like we are giving it 1000 millisecond. So now what we will do, we will console log the value of this dot name inside the set timeout function. So as you already know that set timeout function is a window function. So at the back, what behind the scene, it will be calling as window.setTimeout. So window.setTimeout means the context is window. So it will check for the name in in the window, but as a global scope, but it doesn't have any name variable in the window scope. So it is giving us the output as undefined. Yeah. So now what we can do, we can convert this set timeout function into arrow function. Just yeah, just converting it into an arrow function and checking. So the output is JSNinja. Why? So because as we all know that arrow function will always take its parent's context. So its parents mean here the parent is test function. So test function's context means name. JSNinja is having, yeah, so JSNinja is having the test function's context. So it will print JSNinja. So I hope you are clear with this arrow function concept. If you are having any queries, you can just give in the write in the comment section. We'll be happy to clear your queries. And that's all for the today's video. I hope you like it. If you like, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.